We start off by talking as to how the markets panned out, and incidentally a fairly volatile day of trade where the Nifty in fact dropped for the 5th straight day, hitting the lowest level since October 29th. 6137, yes, we did recover from the day's lows. 6,078 is a level that we shut sharp at. You did have the Sensex 2, which was deep in the red by the day's close. The broader markets, they did see a degree of outperformance all of last week, but that was completely given up, and you had the broader markets which completely succumbed to about a selling pressure and in fact underperformed the frontline indices. It was capital goods as well as healthcare stocks, in fact, as well as real estate stocks, which were hammered out of shape today. In fact, the BSE real estate index was the lowest sectoral index, and IT and healthcare held up on account of the way the rupee behaved. Big losers came in the form of Hindalco, Axis Bank, ACC, and even IndusInd Bank was under pressure. Some of the results for the day, well, SAIL put out its numbers fairly disappointing as the profits came in at 1,080 crore rupees versus 543. But mind you, you did have an exceptional gain of 1,056 crores as well as Q2 MAT credit of 289 crores, on account of which, if you adjust for that, it was pretty disappointing. In terms of the net sales figure, that came in at 11,410 crore rupees. Operating margins too declined. Hexaware put out its numbers where the profits on a sequential basis were flat, 98 crores, and the net sales figure came in higher by close to 16%. Margins too came in flat this time around, and there was a forex loss component which ate into the bottom line performance, so that's 18.7 crore rupees. Tata Chemicals too, and it wasn't a great quarter for the company. The profits declined to 134 crores, so that's almost off by 50%. You had the net sales figure which was up very marginally, and there was a forex loss of close to 91 crore rupees this time around. SUVEN Life Sciences, though, that was a stellar set of numbers. 45 crores versus 6.5 crores, so a good jump up in profit figure. You had the net sales which was up by a whopping 201%. Central Bank put out its numbers, in fact a lot of PSU banks, and it was very disappointing. You had the numbers which were sharply below estimates. It reported a loss versus an expectation of a profit. There was muted NII growth, high provisions, and the treasury which hit the profits this time around. Asset quality also deteriorated. VIJAYA Bank too put out its numbers, a little bit mixed, strong NII and operating income which supported the profits, but there was a high treasury hit and higher provisions this time around as well. Asset quality also increased on a sequential basis. Makrangi Software, the stock got a big fillip on account of its numbers. The profits came in higher by 32 crores. You had the sales figure which came in at 426 crore rupees. Godrej Consumers, well, the results were out today. Yes, there was a profit growth, no doubt, at 195 crore rupees. The top line growth too was healthy, and EBITDA margins this time around were flat on a year-on-year basis. GSK Pharma declared its numbers today. The stock was down by 1%, I think, by the day's close. A little bit disappointing on your screens. The profits came in low by 33%. Net sales off by 7% at 621 crores. And it was the margins, in fact, which really disappointed. So they shrunk to 18.3% vis-a-vis 30.8%. Some of the stocks in focus, SESA STERLITE got a big booster, but then it paled off all of its gains as the Supreme Court allowed the Goa government to e-auction for 11.48 million tons excavated iron ore and formed a panel to monitor Goa's e-auction of excavated iron ore. Meantime, you also had some of the other stocks like Dr. Reddy's on some US FDA approvals. Ranbaxy, on the other hand, was down as Daiichi Sankyo accused the Singh brothers of hiding and misrepresentation of facts in the purchase of controlling stake in the company. Meantime, Titan Industries was a bit weak on the MSCI deletion from the global standard index. Apollo Tyres was pretty active today as the Delaware court says that Apollo Tyres has fulfilled the obligations to close the $2.5 billion buyout of Cooper Tires. Meantime, you had United Breweries, which was holdings, mind you, which had a stellar set of numbers, and the counter got a big thumbs up. There was an exceptional gain of 1,400 crores. DIVI'S Laboratories, these are all of the numbers that came out post-market hours or over the weekend. Results beating street expectations, margins surprised on the product mix, and the sales growth guidance was between 15 to 20%. SHASUN Pharma, though, little disappointing. Profits were down by 23% and the net sales growth also was a bit weak. Well, let's then move on to some of the big gainers for the day. Remember, the list was few and far between. On account of the way the rupee panned out, you did have some of the IT stocks gaining. Dr. Reddy's and Ken India too were smartly in the green today. And you did have the likes of Tata Steel as well as Maruti, which gained traction.